Shalom. All praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Now as you can see here, this is a channel called Going Global. And it's a channel by an English guy from the north of England, or a so-called white looking dude, so-called Edomite looking dude, which so-called Edomite looking man. And this man could be a Israelite himself, you know, he could be a Jake anyway. But anyway, he basically, this video, he's pretty much going around the country and showing how England has become basically multicultural. Really, it's got like undertones of, you know, British or so-called white nationalism and racism, because you see it in a lot of his videos, you know, because basically these so-called white Jakes, right, and these lower level Edomites, they're upset with what's become of their country, basically. You know, how London's become ethnic and, you know, things like that. You know, they feel under threat. Their government's not helping them. But we know this is all planned by the wicked elite families. Who are the wicked elite? The international bankers, all right, which are what? So-called Jewish banking families. You know the names, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all right? These divisions and you know, all the English aristocracy that are under them, the elites basically. These are divisions created by them basically. So you see this in this video, he's in the center of London, and he's at a protest for white nationalism basically, Edomite nationalism. They're so-called white people that are upset that their country is basically, you know, becoming multicultural, so to speak. You know, they're becoming second-class citizens in their own country. But this is the divisions, you know, this is Satan against Satan. And of course, we know the confusion in the midst of this is, you know, you got a lot of our people that are amongst these so-called white people. You got a lot of our people that are amongst the ethnic minorities that are in this country. You got, and then you have the actual Israelites, you know, straight up so-called Negroes in the country. So there's a lot of confusion, which the Lord has set. But, you know, we know this is all being set for pretty much, you know, the chaos to ensue in the end, basically. Because what's going to come of this is, I want to read the scriptures. Slucky, I'm going to play this clip and I'm going to read the scriptures. But we know what's going to come of this in the end is, you know, basically anarchy in the streets, man, of the UK, of America. You know, people not caring what their government has to say anymore, all right? This is basically where these things are going. So let me play this here.
We're going to see what it actually means to some of these people, what it means to be English.
When he said there, it's a joke. What it was, he was walking by Westminster, I believe it is. And, well, not Westminster, I think it's near Trafalgar Square he is. And it was meant to have the British flag up, but it had the flag of Ukraine up. And he was saying, why is a flag of another country up in our land, basically? So the government's just playing tricks on the citizens of this place, in particular, the so-called white people of this land, you know?
Besides the politics, like ignoring the politics, what does it mean to you to be English?
Yeah, I know, yeah, to have our freedom of speech, you know, and it's taken away from us. You know, all these lefty wokies now, you know, you've got to refer to people as it off, mate. You might have chopped it off and you now call yourself Sheila, but won't you? Do you understand? Just because the pig's born in the stable, don't make it horse. The lies, I mean, the conspiracy theorists for the last 20 years, what they've been theorising about, every part of it has come true.
Yeah. Even this, you can tell this guy is more than likely a Jake, and he's at this parade, and look what he said. He said the conspiracy theorists for the past 20 years that, you know, been basically labelled the nuts, you know, the truth speakers, you know, truthers out there, you know, everything that they've been saying is basically now coming true. And primarily, who's been at the forefront of truth speaking? the men of Great Millstone for the past 40 years, man, telling you this kingdom's going to be divided, that there's wicked elites, shadow government that controls this place, you know, and it's all coming out now, all right? And this is all going to lead to the citizens of the land, you know, rebelling against their governments, all right? This is what's happening here. And these so-called white people, these lower class so-called white people, they want this basically because they can see their kingdom or their power structure falling apart, man. They're gonna go buck wild, and we've said this for years, primarily in America as well, all right, which is Babylon the Great.
You know when they go, all you conspiracy theorists, yeah, I now refer to them as conspiracy factists. Now what they're conspiring about now, that is actually going on, you're a conspiracy theorist. Now are they?
I look down at Parliament, I look at these absolute donuts. They do not live in the areas we live in. They do not see the mass immigration we see. Our towns and cities are being changed, and they are going to be changed forever unless we do something.
I've only been here 10 minutes, and the sense of frustration is obvious, and I feel it myself. I've just come from Southall, and I was praising a little bit of multiculturalism, and I do like a lot of...
Because in the beginning of this video, this guy goes to Southall, which is predominantly an Asian, you know, and you got Jake there, Asian community, Elam. And then he said, you know, he was there talking about how much he likes the multiculturalism, but now he was at the march. Like I said, his videos have a racial undertone because the land is divided. These so-called white people are upset, and it's really Satan divided against Satan. But you heard what those nationalists were saying. Our country, the government don't live, you know, in the places we live. They don't see the mass immigration because it's the government pushing the mass immigration onto these so-called white people. So it's going to make them eventually rebel. And the same thing is happening where? In America. But like we've said, a lot of these, I'm going to read the scriptures in a minute. But like I said, a lot of these, you know, the mass immigration that's happening, people from Syria, East India, different foreign people coming into European land and America and Babylon itself. A lot of them are UN troops. A lot of them are trained military men, assassins for the order ab chaos, man, order out of chaos that the elites are planning to bring. All right, it's all a part of the agenda. Divisions is part of the agenda, right, of the international bankers, of the NWO. But it's really all Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's will. So let me play this here. But you know, these videos, like I said, this guy's videos, they have like a racial undertone to it. You know, like, look, the white people are getting taken over. That spirit, basically, you know. So it's because why? Everything's really racial, right? But as you can see, Satan is divided against Satan, man. So this is Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. And pretty much that's happening now. Like we use that to basically, you know, to break down the fact that the Lord's revealing truth on the earth, man. Like who the true people of the Lord are, which are you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know, whom the world ignorantly calls the Messiah is a so-called black man, a so-called Negro, you know, that he ain't a so-called white man. That's the veil, the lies that the so-called white man, the Edomite elites have spread, all right, over all nations, all right, and the covering cast over all people. Basically, the truth's coming out, all right, the truth's coming out, man, pretty much. So he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. The truth's coming out. Even amongst these lesser so-called white people, they're realizing that, look, our governments don't give a shit about us. All right, like that old so-called white looking dude said. He said the conspiracy theorists were right. Because even though, you know, you had conspiracy theorists for years saying the government is corrupt, so-called, you know, like truthers. The government's corrupt. There's shadow governments that rule this society. They don't give a damn about us, that type of spirit. And they were getting laughed at. So even amongst these so-called white people, now they're realizing, oh shit, look what our own government is doing to us. There's a lot mass confusion here. Because even if you, so pretty much the point where I was reading the scriptures, because even amongst those, you know, the Goyim, they're seeing all the lies, basically. They're seeing the lies, man. The veil is being lifted off of their eyes also. So the Lord's revealing, you know, truth on all levels within this society, man. Pretty much. You know? Even they're saying, look, our government's corrupt. And even if you watch the video later in that video, you see this so-called white dude, right, talking about how, you know, the country's being infiltrated by foreigners and our ancestors fought in this land. Then he mentions, you know, the kings of England in the Middle Ages, that we've been here for all these centuries. But see what these lesser so-called white people, and that guy was probably a Jake saying these things when you watch later in the video, like a white Jake. But what the lies go deep with the wicked elites, because who was really ruling these lands in the Middle Ages? So-called Negroes, man. And a lot of these so-called white people that walk in these lands today, you know, talking about get immigrants out and whatnot, these lesser so-called white people, these goyim, they really are people, man. But even they haven't been taught the truth. So now truth is coming out that they know we've been lied to, but it even goes deeper, man. This is the point I wanted to say, man. So you know, but we know that the Lord's creating all these divisions, you know, for a reason anyway, you know, for the chaos to come. All right, the divisions are being set for the chaos to come. We know that. But I wanted to say that. So, and he will destroy in this mountain, which is this government, these governments. The mountain represents government. So the UK, America, Babylon the Great, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. So the lies of the wicked elites is being revealed now. People are seeing there's an agenda here. This is my point. This is the point, Salakia. But what's going to happen is eventually people, you know, are not going to care anymore, man. And they're not going to care because even you heard that so-called white dude, right? He said, what did he say on the podium? If you can hear the volume in the video, he said, you know, basically we got to stand up and fight for our lands because pretty much they're being taken over. And we know that, you know, a lot of these, you know, like Tommy Robinson, a lot of these so-called white guys and so-called Muslim dudes and all these religious beliefs and people that have all these factions, right? Their higher ups are working for the banking families, all right? Why? To rile up their sect. So like, for example, those Tommy Robinsons, they have their duty to rile up the Goyim so-called white people. You know, then you have the Muslim sect of so-called religious leaders. They're set up to rile up their sect of people, all right? You see, for agendas, and they all work for the Jewish banking families, right? They control it all. See? So, you know, we know that chaos is coming. These divisions they're gonna bring in chaos, man. Race wars, class wars, you know, all of that, all right? People are frustrated, you know? But you see, us brothers here in the Great Millstone, we see like the bigger picture. So let me read this here. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So woe means destruction. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction, all right? Destruction to this current system that we're living in. That's what the Lord's getting ready to bring, all right? And it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. The sword and their destruction. So the sword is symbolic of what? Death. Nuclear missiles, bombs, guns, knives. You know, the military men, Gurkha troops. Hey, these guys, these foreign people that are coming into Europe right now, from parts of Africa, from Arabia, the same things happening in America. Look, man, a lot of these people are not refugees, man. A lot of them are UN troops. A lot of them are trained military men coming into the land. Watch the movie Civil War. Watch movies like Civil War. You know, The Road. They're being put in place for the chaotic times to come, all right? So these are not just like people seeking asylum. These are basically trained military men, man. You got to see beyond Esau's lies, all right? So this is the Lord doing this though, right? Why? Because the Lord's is going to bring down Rome 2.0, which is America. And this whole current system of the so-called white man, NATO, the EU, he's bringing it all down, man. All right, which is governed by the wicked elites, all right, of the so-called white race, which are Edomites. So it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. Exactly. Elam, East Indians against so-called white people, so-called black people against so-called white people. all right? So-called Chinese, which are in America, the Chinese community against so-called whites, so-called blacks. You saw a taste of that during the Rodney King riots. The Koreans were going up against the Israelites. The Koreans, which represent Moab and Ammon, they were coming up against the Mexicans and so-called Negroes in LA. See? Which are the tribes of Israel. So that's coming back again, man. One people shall stand up to fight against another and swords in their hands. Oh, what does the scripture say? The scripture says the sons of Greece, the sons of Zion, which are you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, shall basically fight against the sons of Greece. Who are the sons of Greece? The so-called white man, our true natural enemy. Look, man, our people, we're gonna finally lock horns with these devils. The Lord's going to bring it to that point, all right, before Babylon's nuked, all right, and all over the world. It's gonna set off triggers all over the world, man. It's gonna set it off. The Lord's going to link up the tribes. He's going to link up Judah and Ephraim, and they're gonna bring all the nation of Israel back together, and they're going to take on the so-called white man in America, right? And all over the world where our people have been scattered. Okay? So it says, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? And this is what's going to happen. For there shall be sedition among men. All right, and invading one another, race riots, invading people's homes, people are going to be invading from town to town, raiding. All right, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Meaning what? It's going to get to the point where people are not going to care what the government says anymore. They're not going to give, they're not going to give a crap what their politicians say anymore, because the citizens of the world have already realized American government's full of shit. The British government's full of shit. It's all full of lies, that it's not for the people. These so-called white people, which is their kingdom, have realized, look, man, our own government don't give a shit about us, man. They're going to take action into their own hands, okay? It's going to force everyone to get tribal again. Everything's going to get tribal again, man. Racial, basically, how the Lord intended it from the beginning, okay? So there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. They ain't gonna care what their politicians say. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Exactly. So people are gonna desire to go from town to town, but he ain't gonna be able, man. But shall not be able, all right? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is why the Lord's going to be doing all this, all right? Because of the pride of this current system, which is one thing the Lord hates, all right? That's one of the things the Lord hates on his list is pride, man. And that's all we see. But that's a video for another time. But that's all you see in this society, man. She says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Exactly. So this is what's going to get ready to happen. All right. People are going to be invading one another, raiding one another on racial terms. The movie Civil War showed you that. Racially, they're going to be invading. For the lack of bread, people are going to be lacking food because the whole system is going to collapse. That's part of the New World Order agenda, because they're going to collapse everything and bring in the MOTB, man. And that's how if you want to survive so-called under Esau, you know what I mean? You're going to have to get his mark so you can buy and sell. But then in the midst of that, you're going to have people just not caring what the hell, their government says and be raiding and harming one another. Just like the scripture says, man. So let me read this here and I'm going to end it on this, all right? Because this is total divisions, man, that we're seeing here. So this is Matthew 12, and I believe it's in 12 and 26. Salakia, Matthew 12 and 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And that's what's happening, man. Satan has cast out Satan, meaning Satan's a so-called white man, right? The devil of the planet Earth is the Edomites, the so-called white man. And their kingdom is divided. See? The Russians, the Russian Edomite, the Russian so-called white man doesn't get along with the American so-called white man. The French so-called white man don't like the American so-called white man. The German so-called white man doesn't like the French so-called white man. So they're just divided as a people. Okay? And that's why their kingdoms collapse and they can't get along, man. Okay, and then in the midst of that, you have our people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Israelites. We have been in captivity in their kingdom, catching our hell. Then you have all the other nations mingled in there. So it's going to be all out chaos, man. But it begins with the so-called white man himself, his system being divided. The Lord's put it in their minds and they're going at it with each other, man. It's divided. Hence why all this chaos is happening, man. Okay? So it's all controlled by the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai anyway, by the Heavenly Father and His Son. You know, they're in control of it all, man. But this system, as you can see, is totally divided. And we know with the more that the division comes, basically we're, you know, on the doors of chaos, man. Okay? So, you know, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Qudash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Qudash. Shalom, shalom.